I'm Mark Gregory, and I've spent a lifetime in kitchens across the world and made it to the very top of the game. Cooking for royalty, presidents, prime ministers, movie stars, pop legends and sporting greats. But now I've come home to my castle in New Zealand, where life is all about family and friends. In this series, I'm going to give you all the ingredients you need to create the most memorable Christmas. With simple dishes that don't cost the earth, but taste $1 million. Delicious gifts that will really mean something to those receiving them. And some of the simplest but most fun party games to round off any Christmas occasion.
Welcome to Christmas at the Castle.
On today's show, Chef to the Stars Oliver Maurice will thrill with a blockbuster Brulé Fudge. We make an alternative Christmas dish, a Mighty Seafood Platter. Get ready for an alternative to Christmas crackers that's guaranteed to make you laugh.
We cooked together in London over 30 years ago. Today, Ollie spends much of his time looking after the stars and crew on Hollywood movies and TV shows. Welcome to the Castle Kitchen, Ollie.
Thank you, Marky. Nice to be here.
Lovely to have you back. Can you do a jiggle for us again?
Whoa. It's not bad, is it?
And you got Rudolph.
I know.
Most people's favourite reindeer.
I stitched his eye back on.
Now, you're going to be helping me today. And the reason you're here today is because you make more creme brulees than anybody I've ever met.
I love a good creme brulee.
So guess what we're making today?
Creme brulee fudge?
We're making creme brulee fudge. Let's kick it off. Put into the pot 3 3/4 cups of sugar, about 1.75 cups of cream. And I'll get it for you. We need just under 1 cup. So what's the weight on this? 500 grams. So we need just under 1 cup, which will be just under half of this.
And that's our glucose.
That's our glucose. Now I'm putting this in hot water. So just like with golden syrup and honey, you can get it out with no messing. Bring that to a quick simmer, and then we'll boil it for around 30 minutes.
Yep.
We have an old school sugar thermometer.
Yep.
I can't tell you how long I've had that. But we also have a new school. We have a modern digital probe. That will take about 30 minutes to come to the boil. And we need to take it to 115 degrees Celsius, which is about 230 Fahrenheit.
What are we up to? Because that hasn't been that long.
It's 100 degrees, it's boiling.
Look at that, everybody.
There you go.
Do you like that?
Let's talk about the chocolate. I've got regular white chocolate button, but you can use whatever white chocolate you have.
Yeah.
We also need some vanilla. If vanilla is not your thing, how about some salted caramel?
Yum.
Add some caramel flavour, half a teaspoon of salt, you will have salted caramel flavour.
Yeah.
When that's cooked, we need to put it into a tray of some kind, so it all goes flat, sets, and then we can cut it up. So let's put that.
Wow, this is
there
really bubbling away.
Just check the temperature. 114.
1 to go.
At 115, you will have perfect fudge.
Yeah.
This will be so creamy that when you put it in your mouth, it wants to melt. Here we go, switch it off.
Whoop.
Okay. This is where we add some flavouring. 1 cap of vanilla, which is about a teaspoon or 2. This is really hot. So we add the white chocolate, stir it in because we're trying to melt it and emulsify it.
Yeah.
And the last thing we'll add will be this.
So
now, I'm going to give you a whisk because at this stage...
You think we should whisk it?
Yeah, I think. Right, give it a good beating. And
yes, get that part.
He'll need to whisk that for about 3 minutes, but you could easily pour it into a mixing bowl and do it with an electric mixer. However, that means pouring something really hot into something else. This is safer. Let's get the butter in now. And that's about half a cup of butter. And that is salted butter, Ollie.
Salted butter?
Yeah, because when you have very sweet things like fudge and caramel, things like that, to have a little bit of salt takes the edge off. Oh, lovely.
Look at that.
Now that is perfect. Now what you do now is pour that into there. Now look how thick and luscious that is. Now let's put that to cool down. That'll take several hours. This is one we made earlier, and you can see it's nice and thick, and if I push my finger it, I can make an indent.
Yeah.
Let's put it onto a chopping board. Pull off the paper, so you can cut this different ways. There you go, you can see it's creamy, it's not ice, you know, there's no sugar buildup, no crystallization.
It's beautiful.
I'm glad it worked. I'm going to cut those
These are the elf size ones.
on the sides. These are the elf size ones. would you be kind enough to light the blowtorch?
Yes. You know I like blowtorches.
There you go. Okay, Ollie, make it a brulee. There we go.
Look at that.
Lovely.
I love it. I could see this on top
Okay.
of my brulees.
There we go. Like magic. I have made some nice little boxes. Who would you like to give some fudge to?
Ari, Bailey, and Aiden.
Ari. Oh, your sons.
Yay! They'll love it. Look at that.
Oh, there we go. All glazed and beautiful. Into the little gift bag.
That is beautiful.
And there you have it. Chocolate Brulé Fudge. Should we try some?
Oh,
Creamy?
oh creamy.
And you get the burnt on top.
So like a brulee. Lucky.
Ollie, thank you for being here.
You're very welcome.
Thanks for helping me with the fudge.
Lots of fun.
Now,
Thank
will you stick around to make some fortune cookies?
I will.
Excellent.
We make an alternative Christmas dish, a mighty seafood platter. We tell a few fortunes with our fun alternative to Christmas crackers.
On the Mighty Seafood Platter, we're having a crayfish. Now this, down under is called crayfish. Up north in the Northern Hemisphere, it's a spiny lobster. In the kitchen, we call lobsters Larry, so it's Larry the lobster. And just about a day ago, it was out there swimming, coming here for Christmas for us. Also on the platter, we're going to have a raw fish ceviche, which will be marinated in lime juice and lots of nice things. King prawns, caramelized squids, smoked salmon, and some of the freshest oysters you'll ever see. But first, this is 1.5 to 1.6 kilos, so it's going to go into boiling, rolling, salted water for around 30 minutes. Then we'll just take it off, let it cool down, and the residual heat will perfectly cook the lobster meat in the tail. And that's it. There'll be nothing else to do with it. Now you need a lid because it needs to steam, because it won't all submerge in the water. Now these are king prawns. You can buy them ready cooked. These are green and they've been deveined, which means all the work is done for us. I have 1 kilo of king prawns here. This is my wok. It's nice and hot. This is an Asian dressing. You can buy it at your local supermarket or Asian food store. It comes ready-made and it tastes gorgeous. In go the prawns and a good splosh of your dressing. Toss together, and that's going to take just a few minutes. There we go, Tate. Give them a toss. Now these will take a kilo of prawns like that will probably take about 6, 7, maybe 8 minutes. They started off, as you saw, quite translucent, and what we're looking for is that pink rose color of a cooked king prawn. Now we will take them off just slightly underdone because they will finish cooking in the bowl. They are almost ready. You can see they're pink, they're cooked through, and if you press one, it's very firm, it's no longer soft. Now that is ready. I'm just going to give it a little bit of lime juice to finish it. Turn it off. There we go. So they are ready for our seafood platter. Squid time, and I know I said don't buy very much frozen seafood, but this one is a must. It's squid, it comes pre-cut, pre-portioned, pre-everything. And all you need to do is take it out the bag, defrost it safely, and drain it so it's nice and dry. Whatever shape they're cut into is absolutely fine. First up, 3 tablespoons of sugar, which sounds like a lot, but I've got about 600 grams of squid there. This is all going to happen very quickly. Now with the garlic, just take out your frustration. My car won't start. The groceries are too expensive. I got too much to do for Christmas. That's ready to go. Right, can you see that, Tate? Turn to a caramel. Let me just swirl it round for you. Right, let's put the lid on. Now that's going to cook in the wok for about 5 minutes. Because what we want to do is get the squid cooked. I've got some tongs. Let's swirl it around. For me, the squid is half cooked. The way I know it's half cooked, all these little spikes are opening up, the squid's curling, and that tells you I'm half cooked. In goes the garlic, a dash of soy sauce. That's our seasoning. No need to add salt if we're adding the soy sauce or the shoyu. Some sweet chili sauce. And we'll also add a little bit of butter. It makes it velvety smooth and gives it a luxurious taste quality. There we go. I'm just going to squeeze in a dash of lemon, just a few drops. Give it a little bit of acid, which is lovely. The squid is cooked, and now it's time to add the coriander. Just slice it. You don't have to be too careful with it. And there's the squid. Into the bowl. And that's our squid finished. Okay, it's 30 minutes. Larry's cooked. Let's take a look. Beautifully red, definitely cooked. Now it's time to get him under the cold water tap to stop the cooking process. And just a reminder of where we're up to with our Mighty Seafood Platter. Larry's cooling down in plenty of cold water. The squid is cooked, the king prawns are cooked, and now it's time for the ceviche. Now, ceviche starts with fresh fish. Here in New Zealand, we're using snapper. It's a very versatile fish. We're going to marinate it. And the first task is basically, this is boneless, filleted. Now, we're going to cut it into pieces. Don't worry about if it's not perfectly that size, because we're going to marinate it in lime juice for around 30 minutes, and that will actually cook it. There we go, into a bowl. Now the lime juice is an acid, just like lemon juice, and the acid will essentially slowly cook any white fish and make it nice and tender. This is fresh lime juice, and I've got around 3/4 of a cup there. I'm going to use my fingers. I want to massage it in a little bit. There we go. It's all submerged in the lime juice, and that's going to be able to cook and tenderize every piece of fish. Into the fridge for 30 minutes. We need some vegetables and herbs that will finish the dish. Right, let's start with a little bit of diced onion. A little bit of crunch, that'll be rather nice, and a little bit of zing. Now I have a huge cucumber here. I'm not going to be using all that. So let's just take out a little bit of the seeds. Let's put it on the flat side. Cut it into sticks. And around 1/2 centimeter dice is absolutely perfect. These are very large spring onion, so I'm just going to cut through the roots there to make it a little bit smaller and slice. So there we go. We've got some spring onion. Now, here's a nice little tip. We don't want to eat the core. It's not very nice. So with the tip of a knife, put it in, spin it around, out comes the core. Now, I don't need the seeds. They won't add anything to the flavor of this particular dish, and we want the color and texture of the tomato flesh. You do not have to be too exact. Just dice it. So there we have our firm vegetables. That'll all give texture. Now herbs, you can't put enough herbs in a ceviche. They are pops and pockets of flavor. I'm going to slice it thin with the stalks as well, because young parsley stalks are perfectly edible. That goes in as well. Parsley and coriander will not only give color, it will make it pop in your mouth. Again, just a rough chop is absolutely fine. Now that looks beautiful. It's changed color completely. Now I'm going to drain off a little bit of the lime juice. And now I'm going to pop that into our other salad ingredients. So that fish is marinated for about 30 minutes. Now I'm going to add a little bit of sriracha. Now if you've got littlies around, as we call them in New Zealand. Not too much. If you love your spice, just add more. I'm also going to add 1 teaspoon of drizzled honey over it as well. There we go, that's all it needs. It's not meant to be sweet, but with the lime juice, it just takes a little bit of the sharpness away. A little grind of pepper, salt. It will need a little bit of salt. Now, I'm adding about half a teaspoon. There we go. Let's just mix it all together. For our Mighty Seafood Platter, we're using 2 Larry lobsters. So I'm going to show you how to turn this one into this, because we need to detach the tail, and this is how we do it without damaging the lobster. Put your knife in between the tail, top and bottom, and the tail will just come out. There we go. You can see the meat is cooked because it's absolutely white and there's no odor at all, so it's super fresh. With the scissors, I'm going to cut along the inside of the shell. There we go. So these are our kitchen scissors, right down to the tail, and we will do that on both sides. There we go. This is a job you're always going to have to do if you're serving Larry. Right, get rid of that. And now, put your fingers between the shell and the meat, and it will just pop out. There we go. Now we want to use this because this is beautiful. It's so decorative. All we do is pinch it, put it back inside the lobster, and that's going to be our bowl to hold the crayfish, the lobster. So now I'm going to slice it, ready for the shell. So these end pieces, there we go. Let's put those in the bottom of the shell. These slices are about 1/2 centimetre thick, and I'll turn them around in a moment so you can see. Now look how white and succulent and tender that is, and moist. It's definitely not overcooked. Let's face it, lobster is a luxury. There's no avoiding it, but if you can't spoil people on Christmas Day, when can you spoil them? And no seafood platter, especially a mighty one, is complete without some locally sourced oysters. Now these are from the Coromandel, which if you look out the window, is about 90 minutes by boat across the sea. They arrived this morning, they could not be fresher. With a seafood platter, presentation is everything. I'm going to put ceviche into the power shell, the king prawns and the squid onto these scallop type plates, fill it with ice, seaweed, and put everything on top. And there you have it, my mighty seafood platter. Anybody coming to Christmas, they see something like this, they're gonna know you've looked after them. Merry Christmas.
Get ready for an alternative to Christmas crackers that's fun, easy, and guaranteed to make you laugh.
Today, we're making cracker fortune cookies. We'll personalize for each person coming on Christmas Day. Fill them with whatever you choose. Cringeworthy jokes, pearls of wisdom, or turn them into a game. Impersonate someone at the table. This is what we're making, giant fortune cookie crackers.
They're a lot bigger than any fortune cracker.
They are, aren't they?
Yeah.
But why make them small?
Why make them small?
Okay, first up, please melt the butter, Ollie.
Melting the butter.
3 egg whites into a bowl, and I'm going to whisk these for probably 2 or 3 minutes until they're light and fluffy. Yeah, keep your eye on that because I'm forever cleaning the microwave. Basically, keep whisking until your arm falls off. Then they will be done.
Do you need a hand?
No, they're actually ready. That's all you need. So let's add some vanilla, about that much. Some sugar, rein in the sugar. There we go. Right, I've got one more job for you here, Ollie.
Yes, let's
Once I've done, so mix all that in. Then we add the flour. Right, mix that in. Now the butter. Once I've added the butter, could you give me 3 tablespoons of cold water? But let me mix this to a smooth paste first. Now the water does a very important job. We want these to be really thin, and that adjusts the consistency so it's thinner.
All at one time?
Yep. 2, 3, that's perfect. There we go.
Perfect.
Can you see that? It's very thin. Now, this is a non-stick mat. If you don't have one of these, do not worry. Just use baking paper.
Okay.
1.5 soup spoons. And then, all we do, spin them out so they're, what's that, about 6 inches, which is what, 15 centimeters, something like that. You know, don't worry, it doesn't have to be exact. These go into the oven for about 4 or 5 minutes until edges are browned. It can be a little bit brown in the middle, and that's 190 degrees Celsius, 370 Fahrenheit. I'm going to put those there because I don't have the largest amount of time now. Now you can see they're soft like pancakes. Let's put in a little Christmas, let's put a trivia thing and
that is so
a little joke. And this is what you said.
Look
Pinch
at
them
that.
over the side and come around, and there you have your fortune cracker shape.
Wow,
Now you put it in the bowl because that helps it keep its shape. So we'll add that one to that. So I don't want you eating it just yet.
It's so
And
tempting.
we'll add that one to it as well. So that's going to be our platter of fortune cracker cookies.
Love it, beautiful. Well done.
Thanks for joining us, Ollie.
You're very welcome.
I've had
Ian.
fun. You going to come and eat now?
I am. Let's go.
Excellent.
What a feast! A mighty seafood platter, Brulé Fudge which you'll be tempted to eat yourself rather than gift. Fortune cookie crackers to put a spin on any Christmas occasion. All the recipes from the show are available online, and you have yourself a very Merry Christmas.